So this is a pot-bound plant. You can see the roots are very dense on the outside, and this is a piece of the bottom root, the top root that went underneath the pot. That's why I had to cut the pot. And yeah, cutting this off will encourage more roots, and I teased the roots out, so now they'll be able to circle, well, to grow on the outside, but I should really choose a bigger container. So I just wanted to use this as an example. You can see the tree, the Duranta is quite overgrown for that size pot. It was in this one, which is tiny, and the roots were growing underneath into the ground. And which is it's a hybrid way of growing these plants. I mean, you can it won't harm the plant if it goes underneath, but it will harm the plant if it has no escape and it keeps circling around. So I am actually going to use a much bigger container. That's it. This was another pot bound, although not as bad. So the part that was most pot bound was the bottom. So you can see the roots reach the edge and they are starting to circle around, but the worst part was this. All this is hard roots and some finer ones. But so it was quite difficult to take them apart. But I did, and now they can start, well, the hard roots will not grow downwards anymore, but I will keep them this year, and I will probably prune them next year. If I was to plant this in the ground, I will not leave those. I will cut them because they will keep circling, and they might disturb the roots that will form next to them or inside them in the future. But since I will be pruning this every year or every other year, I'm on top of it. So yeah, this is the kumquat that I got yesterday, and yeah, I'm just gonna, so I need to be a bit lower than this, so 1 or 2 centimeters more, and I can just do that by twisting. I don't need to take any substrate out. Yeah, that should be enough. And I'm gonna fill this up with the rest of the topsoil, the potting soil, and then water it thoroughly. Probably let it sit in water a bit, although the substrate isn't that dry. But I might do that just to make sure it's saturated, so then the next time I water, I'll know that the water is absorbed into the substrate and not just go through it. I just potted up the kumquat. I have used, I watered it using a biostimulator in liquid form, and I will talk about that specific product at a different time, but I have spoken about the Eclonia maxima seaweed extract before, which I included in the mix. But this video is for pointing out something else. So this was grown right next to this, which is kind of okay for maybe the first year, but I can't be just keeping this either when I'm putting it up, or especially if you're putting it in the ground, because this keeps the tissues of the whole plant lazy, including the roots. When the plant experiences the swaying motion that is caused by the wind movement, that causes the roots to branch out more and keep it more stable. And more importantly, it strengthens the outer layer. It strengthens the bark, the actual stem, so that it's less susceptible to breaking. So if you keep it like this forever, I have seen this before in larger plants. They're so weak against strong winds, or not even strong winds, even moderate winds. And especially if it's a plant that produces flowers and especially fruits, which have even more water content in them, the branches become so heavy. You'll see this in citrus, you'll see this in many fruit trees, but also in other plants that are not used for their fruit, but they still produce fruit anyway. So they just get a bunch of fruit here, and just by the slightest wind, this might break. So this might break, or in this case, this might break. But I will keep it because this has grown very tall and it has a lot of weight on top. And that's how I got it from the nursery. So I will keep it, but what I will do is I will stake it, but I will stake it differently. So I will remove the stake and put it at an angle, and I will leave a lot of and I might put another stake in that is gonna come from a different angle, and I'm not even gonna tie them to it as I'm not gonna make them tight on the stem. I'm gonna let it sway much more than this. And what I'm expecting next year is that I'm gonna get some more growth here on the lower parts, which will sort out the center of gravity on this thing, and it will help with the it will help with also the plant falling over. I mean, this is a relatively small pot I put it in. I might repot it again next year in 2 or 3 months before spring. But in any case, this has to go and change position, and yeah, I'm gonna update at a later point when I'm done. And that's it for now.